In this video, I'm going to show you how to make really cool thumbnails in Canva, putting yourself in the thumbnails to help you promote yourself within your videos as part of your personal brand. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so here we are in my YouTube studio. I've got my key light that's set up facing against this wall, which has a white sheet against it. I've got my chair that I will be sitting in. And this is basically just to give a really plain backdrop so that it will make it easier in Canva to be able to cut myself out from that backdrop rather than having like a busy background. It just gives Canva a slightly easier job. So in a second you're going to see me sit down on that chair and pull various facial expressions. And the reason for that is that at this moment I don't know exactly what facial expression I want, what mood I want to set in my thumbnail. So I'm going to basically do a bunch of images. So here we are, smiley face, looking surprised, contemplative, hands up, thumbs up, smiling, look of despair. Look at that, the best Oscar goes to Steve Brocky. So I've recorded that in 60 frames per second. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the video that we recorded on our phone and of all the potential thumbnail images, and we're going to drag that into CapCut. As you can see, there's me pulling lots of different poses. So all I'm going to do is find a pose that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go for this kind of inquisitive looking pose to go with the open loop that I'm trying to create in the thumbnail. So once I found the image I'm happy with, I'm going to go to the player, click on export still image. I'm just going to give that a name, so I'll just put thumbnail test, and then I'm going to save that down to my desktop. Now that we are in Canva, we're going to go to create design and we're going to type in YouTube thumbnail, and that's going to give us a blank template for a YouTube thumbnail, so we can click on that. And then it's going to give us a blank template here, and then we will have many options for pre-made YouTube thumbnails that we can choose from. Just a word of note that anything that has a little crown in the bottom corner right the way through Canva means that it's part of the paid version of the app, but there are free options as well. So you can put any image into your background, but what I'm going to do is go with a gradient color. So I'm going to go for my trademark pink through purple, and then I'm going to go to uploads, and you can see the other images that I've uploaded previously, but I'm going to click on upload file. I'm going to find the thumbnail test still image that I exported from CapCut and import that. And once that has finished importing, just takes a second or two, I'm going to drag that into my image. So obviously we don't want that stuff in the background, so we're going to use the background remover up at the top here. You can see this again is part of the paid version of the app. And when we click that, it just takes a second or two, and it does a pretty good job of taking the background away. Then we can resize this to whatever size we are happy with. And then we can go to edit and go to adjust. And in here we can change things like brightness and sharpness. So I usually start by pulling the highlights right the way down. And then I add a little bit of contrast, brighten it up a little bit, and lift the shadows just to kind of brighten it a bit more, a little bit more contrast. And I'm just going to cool it a little bit because it looks a little bit on the warm side. So I'm going to just adjust the temperature a little bit there as well. Then we can carry on and we can start to resize this. So I'm just going to move it over to the right hand side, and then I'm going to put my text on the left hand side just to balance the image. In fact, I'm actually going to go and add a little bit of sharpness just to make this pop a little bit more. Okay, now we can start looking to add text. So we can come in here You can select whatever text you wish. These ones at the bottom are kind of pre-made ones that you can just kind of put in and do your own thing, or you can add in just a plain text box, and then you have options of all the different text you can choose from down the left hand side, and it shows you a preview of what those texts will look like. You can adjust the size, you can adjust the color, make it bold, italics, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to just go ahead and delete that, and I'm going to go to my go-to, which is this one here. I like it because it's very bold and it jumps off the page. So I'm just going to adjust that there, and I'm going to go and type in my font. So I'm going to put in the font here. You'll never guess. So this is all part of the kind of curiosity loop. So I've kind of got that kind of curious look on my face, and that's kind of complemented with this text. And this is all about trying to introduce that kind of curiosity loop to the viewer, to make them think that they need to click the video to find out what it is that they should never guess. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that white. And then I can position that and I can send it backwards so that the text is actually behind myself, just to kind of let it kind of get that kind of three-dimensional kind of feel. And I can just start to adjust things, maybe move myself over slightly, just so that more of the wording is actually visible and it's clear what the actual text is saying. And then I can select my text again, and I can go up to effects and give it a lift, and all that does is just make the text kind of jump off the page a little bit more and just make it pop. And after that, what we can do is we can start to play around with things. I might make myself a little bit bigger and just kind of maneuver myself around the page until I'm happy with it. I might adjust the... Okay, and it's as simple as that, really. Once you are happy with it, you can export it, but it doesn't really have to be overly complex. I think thumbnails are best when they're quite simplistic. Contrasting colors, balanced image between image and text, big bold text that is going to stand out on the page and is going to be easily read by someone who's scrolling on, for example, a phone. Obviously there's small real estate you're working with there, so keeping the text large and to the point is going to help with that. Making a thumbnail too busy, it tends to start to lose its message, and then it might not be as kind of attention grabbing as what it is if you keep it quite simple and quite bold. So once we're happy with it, we're going to click on share, and then we're going to click on download, and then we are going to adjust the size all the way up to the maximum. But then we're also going to click on limit the size, and we're going to set that to 2000 kilobytes, which is 2 megabytes. And the reason we do that is that the YouTube thumbnail can only be 2 megabytes in size. So we want the best quality whilst keeping the size to the limit that YouTube will allow. And then that's just going to download. You'll see the little progress bar. And once that's done, it is ready for uploading to your YouTube video. Okay, hopefully you found that tutorial useful. If you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already and are looking to grow on YouTube, join me on this journey and subscribe to the channel. And I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.